y'all. Welcome to the Honest to Goodness podcast,
where we give you our honest opinions
on good entertainment. I'm Morgan.
I'm Kerri.
I'm Nicole. And without further ado,
here's today's episode.
We hope you enjoy.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Honest to Goodness podcast, where we give you our honest opinions on good entertainment. I'm your host, Kerri, along with my lovely co-hosts, Morgan and Nicole. And we are here, first of all, to apologize for the mess of last episode, but
yeah,
sorry, not sorry. Hashtag sorry, not sorry. But anyway, we
in
are
a loving
here.
way.
Yes.
We went down the rabbit hole in a loving way.
Yes.
And we cannot promise it won't happen again in this episode, because, like, let's face it, it's us. If you haven't already figured that out, can't help you. And love you.
I had to come up with some merch for that. That is like,
absolutely.
Oh my gosh. So submit your ideas for our line of In a Loving Way merchandise.
Speaking of merch, the Hallmarkies podcast is selling t-shirts in honor of the Three Wise Men and a Baby movie starring Andrew Walker, Tyler Hines, and Paul
Campbell.
Okay.
Campbell.
And I'm repping my team Andrew, because we're going to be reviewing one of his movies today.
Yes.
So go get one.
Yes.
They're
Is
so
a Hallmark podcast.
Oh my
They
gosh.
are.
Like,
They really
I can
are.
sleep in this shirt with no problems. Like, like, even the collar right here is so soft. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Loved it.
T-Public does a really good job with their with
They
their
really do. They really do. It's so soft. Like, usually this part right here is like rough, while the rest of the shirt could be soft or whatever. But I'm telling you, like, every part of this shirt, like even the letters are, it's just it's such a good shirt. I love it.
Yeah. Awesome. But Nicole, would you like to tell them what movie we are going to be reviewing today?
A Maple Valley Christmas.
Yay! Our beloved Andrew Walker.
Yes.
We love Andrew. We can't wait to have him back on the podcast. Like, that was the interview we did with him. Y'all hear us refer back to it all the time, but the interview we did with him was so fun. And he just, Nicole, I'm sure you can attest to this because you've had him on Swing My Heart as well.
Yeah.
But when you finish your conversation with him, you feel like you're best friends.
Yeah. Like, that's actually the only episode that we've ever filmed that I've actually watched, like, pretty much from the beginning to end, because, like, I could watch it and, like, still feel what I felt while interviewing him. And me and Kerri always talk about this moment every single time we talk about our interview, because it's just it just goes to show you how Andrew is. But, like, we were literally just both sitting there just, like, listening to him, because he was talking about it, and he was talking about a serious problem that is still happening in America and all over the world, like human trafficking. He filmed a movie that kind of centered around that subject, and he was obviously, like, talking about it. And I literally looked over at Kerri whenever I, like, had this initial thought. I was like, oh my God, I'm literally having a conversation with the Andrew Walker. And I looked at her just like I'm looking at her right now, and, like, me and her both are like, don't you laugh. Don't you do it. Because if you laugh, I'm going to go hysterical. And so we automatically, like, stopped looking at each other and went back to looking at Andrew.
That would not have been good.
And like,
at all.
Not even
ADD moment right there. Okay, we were literally just talking about ADD. ADD moment where you're, like, listening to somebody, but your brain goes somewhere totally different.
Like, I promise, Andrew, if you're watching this, we were paying attention. We were. But I don't know what it was, but, like, all of a sudden my mind just, like, made me realize, like, hey, you're talking to a celebrity right now.
Yep.
Like this guy has like met like some serious celebrities in his life. Okay, like he knows serious people there in the world, not even just in Hallmark. Like this dude is a celebrity, and you're having a conversation with you. He knows your name.
Yep.
You have his cell phone. You have his cell phone number in your cell phone right now.
Oh my gosh.
And I was just like, and the next thing you know, not even like a minute later, it's like it's just Andrew, just a friend, casually talking about movies.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
I love the fact that he talked as much, if not more, than we did, and y'all know that is an accomplishment right there.
like guys, you know we do not edit our videos, and our videos are like 2 hours long. The last video you guys watched of us does not tell you how much we ramble, how much we love to talk. I don't know what will. Okay, how about the fact that we literally, like we mentioned in the last episode, literally tried to make comparisons of the When Calls the Heart cast and Star Wars, just simply because we were loving the fact that we were talking.
Yeah.
I mean, the interview was only supposed to be an hour long, and it was 2 hours long.
Yeah. And like we said, he did his lion's share of the talking there. So I mean, yeah. But I loved it. I love just how down to earth
he's great.
Andrew is. He is so awesome. I love, because we were picking on him when we started that episode, because when y'all interviewed him on Swing My Heart, y'all were giving him like this introduction as the king of Hallmark and whatever, and we went in the total opposite direction. We were like, who is this guy?
Like, let's humble him for a second. Like,
y'all build him up, we knock him down. We're
yeah.
Yeah,
we didn't even tell him at all what we were going to say. We were just going to like, just so you know, we don't actually think this way of you. We love you very much, but just so you know, we're going to play a little game here.
Yeah, I did warn him, because I was like, I didn't want to throw him off too much. I was like, just so you know, you're dealing with a couple of sarcastic Southern girls here. And I was like, we're going to start this off with a joke. I was like, but I promise you we're just kidding, but I love the fact that he like just picked up on it and ran with it instead of like just sitting there letting us do our thing. He actually joined in. I loved it.
Yeah, like when we were interviewing him.
Oh, sorry, Nicole, go ahead.
It's okay. I was just gonna say, when we were interviewing him, we were like, or when we were talking to him, we were thinking the same as y'all, like, oh my gosh, is this actually happening right now?
Yeah.
And I honestly felt the same way about interviewing Charlotte, who plays Julie.
Like, we were excited
about her too, and she was so down to earth and so sweet, and she talked just as much as we did, and like we loved that, because it's like, when you think about interviewing a celebrity, you think there's a time crunch here. That guy only had this much time, which we did have a time crunch with Charlotte, but we totally understood why. Like, she had meetings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like it felt so natural to talk to her, like so natural. Same with Andrew. Like, it was just so natural. You were just talking with a friend that you just in a while, and you were just trying to catch up.
They matched our energy. Our energy.
Yes, and I love that. I love and that's one thing I love about, and I actually love watching interviews, especially celebrity interviews. But like, those are my favorite, is whenever you see them, not only each other like connecting with their energies, but like the interview is even playing along, and is it cringy and acting like asking cringy interview questions or whatever, and it's actually real conversations. Love that.
Yeah, that was one of our favorite interviews we've ever done.
Oh yeah,
on the podcast.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So Andrew, if you happen to ever hear anything about this, you're tops with all of us here, so just letting you know that we love you.
But hopefully we get to interview again soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, same with us. Fingers crossed.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I feel like he does bring that to his characters, because I've never seen a character of his that didn't have like a really good like down to earth feel to them.
Just a very likable personality, and I think he brings that in all of his.
Yeah, and it's so natural. Mm-hmm. Like, this dude could literally have natural chemistry with a rock. Like, I'm just saying.
Now my brain is going back to Singing in the Rain. Well, I can't
I still need to watch that movie.
I do too.
Oh man, it's so good.
But first thing I have to say about this movie, one thing that I really loved was how different it was because of him
Yes.
standing up to his father about the farm. Like, no, we are not going to do this.
Mm-hmm. And even quitting his job.
Yes.
Even ended up
And
quitting
he-
his job.
Yeah,
this.
and not only that, but also like I was like, oh, the farm's probably gonna be run down, or it's got like all these bills they haven't been able to pay, and they're gonna have to do like this big festival to like raise money. None of that happened. I was like, thank you.
I
Yeah.
loved his line
Like-
when his dad gets there and, kind of interrupts him and Erica. And, she says, I thought you weren't buying the farm. And, she goes in the house and his dad says, so you're throwing away this deal for a woman you just met that you won't know next week. No, I'm throwing this deal because I have principles.
Yes.
Thank you.
Like, and honestly, like, oh man, like whenever he said that, I was just like whenever he said that about her, like a girl you won't even know next week, I'm like, whoa. Like you
Yeah.
barely have a relationship with your son as it is, and you're gonna throw that kind of a thing at him. Like
That was actually one of my favorite lines, and one that I specifically wrote down was in a conversation between him and his dad. When he was talking about the fire truck that his
I
dad
have
had
it.
given him,
I have it.
and he was talking about the fact that how much he loved that fire truck, and that one day it just quit making noise, and his dad told him it was broken, and he's like, Mom kept everything, and he was like, I found that fire truck like however long later, and he was like, there was a note on it to not put new batteries in this thing, just tell him it's broken, it's annoying.
It's annoying.
Yeah, and his dad was like, I was trying to teach you, and he's like, I didn't need
I
to
need to be taught. I need to be loved.
Be loved.
I
was
was
like,
like the way that I just reacted now is how I reacted to the movie whenever I was in mid watching it, because I'm just like I watch these movies and and I'm just like, and it's real. These types of fathers and their relationships with their children are real, and it just blows my mind that I'm just like, and it makes you really do feel bad for the character and feel bad for these people, because it's just like I cannot imagine that.
Well, I mean, even when he towards the end, when he quits his job, or before he quits his job, when he's like, Dad, I'm asking you one more time to not to drop this property.
Yeah, he won't let it go.
Yeah, and his dad's like, no. And they're having their whole conversation, and my brain totally jumped what I was fixing to say, and it was really good too. I like it had a really good when his dad was like, or when his dad tells him he quits, or when he quits, and his dad's like, you're not going to quit, because that's what all this is about. This this company's going to be yours one day. That's why I've been working so hard. This is what blah blah blah. It's all for you to make sure that when I'm not there, you're still taken care of. And he's like, no, Dad, you're not doing this for me. You're doing
it for you.
Yeah.
And just kind of reminding him, you're building something that you have in your mind. You're not building what I ever asked you for. I never asked for this. I never wanted this.
Right. Like you just assumed that I wanted to have a company. You just assumed that I wanted to be you.
Mm-hmm.
That because I'm your son, that I'm going to want to be you when I grow up.
And him and okay, what the heck is his name in this movie? Because I'm drawing a complete Aaron and Erica actually have that conversation, because she's like, kind of, well, why don't you quit? And he was like, I don't know what I would do. And she's like, well, you need to love what you do. And he's like, I do love the work. there's a lot of this that I do love. I love building from the ground up. I love, making something better and blah, blah, blah. He's like, I just don't like doing things my dad's way. Kind of, this isn't necessarily how I want to be. Like, I want to do this,
Right.
but not necessarily these projects and the way my dad wants it done. And when she asked him, like, how do you make it work? How do you make it work with your dad? And he was like, I don't think we make it work. He gets his way and I end up basically giving in to him. And therefore my dad says that I have no kind of backbone or stick to itiveness or, whatever. And I love, what was the, let me go back to it here. When she says, maybe you have, and this is a later conversation, not the same one, but she said, maybe you have follow through when you find something you want to follow through on.
Yeah.
And just kind of reminding him that it's not that he doesn't have stick to itiveness. It's just that he hasn't been passionate enough about anything that they've been doing to stand up to his dad like that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's even even in the very opening scene, where Connor is like, what do you Davenports do for Christmas? And Steve says, at the same time as Aaron, I ski, I golf, and Aaron says I ski. And it's like they don't even spend Christmas together. Like, you would rather go golf than go ski with your son, or you or whatever. Like, you wouldn't want to go and do that, or vice versa, even, which honestly, I feel like he probably would, if he didn't feel like it was going to just end up being a conversation where he demeans him or makes him, or like points out anything he does wrong, or constantly wants to remind him, I'm doing everything that I'm doing because I want you to have a future or be taken care of, all that kind of stuff. If those conversations didn't come and they were actually able to enjoy a round of golf together, I feel like he would go with his dad and do that.
I think that's something that you see in this movie, is the fact that Aaron does love his dad.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like there's animosity between them. It's not like Aaron doesn't love his dad. It's not like he hates his dad. He actually loves his dad, but it's like he doesn't have a relationship. When he quit his job, he was like, I don't know how to fix this between us, but I know it starts with me not working with you anymore.
Right. They don't have a relationship. If you think about it, it's like it's literally like all work, no play.
Yeah.
All his dad is nothing but work.
Yeah.
He even tells him, and he's like, that's what I do, son. I work hard so you can play hard. And it's like, that just dismisses him and makes him seem like he doesn't have a good work ethic, or that he doesn't care about his job, or that he just is one of these kids that's like, abuses his father being a hard worker. That is not at all that character.
Yeah.
That's the complete opposite of that character, in my mind, at least. But that just goes to show you how, like, the opposite in thinking and seeing and the view, and really does show you how broken their relationship is. But I love that he does continuously bites back at his dad, and what?
Yeah.
Sorry, Nicole keeps starting to say something, and every time she's about to start talking, you start saying something. It's hilarious.
Like, this was never easy with me and you. Adding a third person.
I don't want to interrupt you.
No, it was just comic. It was just funny timing. I'm sorry. You're good. Okay, Nicole, you have the floor.
We're just having this conversation about how we have ADD and we interrupt people because we have ADD, and we're gonna have all three of us pretty much having ADD except for Nicole. Like, the poor thing is outnumbered.
I just didn't want to talk over you. I never like to do that.
Honestly, you might as well, because me and her talk over each other.
What did I get myself into in a loving way? I cannot right now.
Yeah.
Sorry. I started. Oh, jeez. I had started. What am I going to say? I'm literally crying now. I had a mouthful to drink when I started laughing. So I was like about to spit it out. And then I started swallowing it. So I'm choking. That's why I have muted myself. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Okay.
It's like a full dumber, like full like what is it? The Three Stooges moment.
Yeah. Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Nicole, you have the floor for a moment.
Okay. I forgot what I was gonna say. Hang on. Let me gather my thoughts. Getting off track just for a second.
Yeah.
And going back to their relationship, Aaron and his dad. It's not the same kind of relationship, but in a way, it reminds me of the relationship between Troy and his dad in High School Musical. Because, you know, like his father was so set on him going to this one particular college and wasn't
Playing
really thinking
basketball.
about, what Troy really wanted to do. So,
And it went all the way through all three movies. Like there was always something that he always kept like a handle on trying to remind Troy basketball.
And then they finally worked things out in the third one.
And he was, well, I mean, they didn't necessarily stop him. Like he still went to college, but he went to a school where he would do basketball and theater. So they didn't necessarily sit down and have this conversation where he was like, I don't want to play basketball, because he did. But that wasn't all he wanted to do.
Yeah, he wanted to do.
That's where it kind of made a little bit. That's where the difference is that it wasn't necessarily resolved the way that it was resolved in this movie.
Yeah,
like they didn't necessarily have a toxic relationship. Like
no.
So I can understand, but I can see this comparison because it's like whenever you want something for your kids so bad, or like I think it is kind of easy for parents to be like, you know, they see this potential and they see that they're really good at this particular thing, and like especially if they also were particularly good at this thing, like how Troy's dad was really good at basketball, and so he obviously passed that down to Troy and all that. So I can see the comparison there. Yeah. But just like that first opening, and like whenever he said that about how like that's why I work hard so you can play hard, I'm just like, and I never even saw that in Andrew's character. I feel like that really did come out of left field, because I didn't feel that way about Andrew's character, and that obviously we are only like that was like 5 minutes into the movie. And I could already see like that's no way that's like no way that's like Andrew's character. Like, and it's crazy how you could clearly see that was a misconception or a missed opinion that his father had that was completely false.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I love how cozy this movie feels.
Yeah.
Like especially with her, like the opening scene with they're on the horses and they're
I love that first
going through the snow, and like she's talking about her grandparents and her great grandparents and stuff like that. I love how they opened the show with that, because it just it felt really cozy. It felt really like one of those movies that you would want to curl up on the couch watching with, like, you know, the fireplace going if you have one, and like, you know, just relaxing and being able to watch and enjoy and feel cozy watching it.
Yeah. Am I the only one that loved Connor's character too? Like he was just so cute.
Yeah.
So
I liked him too. Yeah.
Because like he thought he was kind of starting a good conversation by saying like, so what did Davenports do for Christmas? Yeah. He thought it was going to be some sweet family tradition. Nope.
I felt really bad for him. Like when Aaron called his dad and told him deal's off, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he's refusing to talk to his dad about it anymore. And then Connor called him he's like, hey, it's not a really good time right now. And Connor's like, yeah, it's not a really good time for my vacation to be interrupted by a slightly terrifying something call from your dad. But oh, man.
I love that because Connor was sticking up for him, like, dude, he's wrecking my vacation too. Just
Right?
so you know, it's not just your vacation he is trying to interrupt here. He's interrupting mine.
Yeah.
You can tell to me that Connor and Aaron are close, even though like
Yeah.
you can tell they have a good friendship, even though they're technically employer and employee.
Yeah.
You know, like you can tell they have a really good relationship with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the line at the beginning when Erica, Heidi, Trevor, and Ina, Erica and Heidi's mom, they're in the kitchen, and I think it was Erica and Heidi come in. Can't remember for sure. But Ina starts speaking Italian, and Heidi says, "When did you learn Italian?" And that was the point when Trevor is like speaking back, and he says, "I spent a lot of time with your mother."
Yeah. Like you can tell they have a special bond. He seems like somebody, and even with the comment, I loved when Aaron brought the horse back. He ends up, he finds the horse and he ends up bringing it back to the farm, and they invite him to stay for eggnog and whatever. And I love when he's like, just voluntarily hanging out with relatives for fun. I've heard of this, but I've actually never witnessed it. And the son-in-law makes the comment like, yeah, it was a shock to me too, first time I did it, or something like that. So you kind of gather just by little comments he makes like that, and by his relationship with the mom, maybe that he grew up either without a mom or not in a good family situation or something, so that those two have a close bond.
Yeah.
It's not the typical mother-in-law, son-in-law relationship. Like you can tell those two are really
he's
close.
like it's like she took on the mother role in his life, even
Yeah.
though we don't know whether or not he lost his mom or just never had a relationship with his mom, or even just like he didn't have a relationship with his parents, period, whatever one.
Yeah.
You saw by the way they were talking, and they're both making comments that it was like that. Yeah.
That she's more of a mother to him than just a
Yeah.
mother.
Yeah.
Right.
I love that aspect.
I've seen the guy that plays Trevor in a lot of the Hallmark movies. I don't know off the top of my head the other
Me either.
ones, but I know he's been in a lot. So he's a good actor.
Yeah. He's cute too.
Yeah.
I loved when Erica made the comment, you don't get a cowboy hat, you earn it.
You earn it.
Yeah.
That one really kind of cracked me up. But then when you go to the end of it, as she actually like gives him a cowboy hat as a present, and she was like, I should have given it to you before, and he's like, yes, you should have. I love the fact that he never let up on her with that. Actually,
I love that too. I love that because like that was one of the things that I loved about this past season. With like, again, sorry, side swipe, when caused heart.
Yeah.
With Kevin biting back with Elizabeth. Like, I don't know what it is, but I love those type of relationships where you don't let up on each other. Like,
where it's funny. Like, oh, it's okay.
It's funny and picking. It's not being serious. It's total jokes. I'm not talking like, that kind of, like, I'm talking like joking. Like, it's just more fun.
In a loving way.
I love how at the end, Aaron says, I just got to say, it's not a present if I had to earn it. Yeah, you never really had to earn it.
Yeah.
We're jumping like way ahead, but.
No, I love that though. I love, and
Yeah.
also the cowboy hat thing goes back to when we were talking about our interview with him earlier, the movie that he did that he was talking about with the human trafficking. He's playing kind of like a border town sheriff or something like that. So I remember the picture that I saw from that, he was wearing a cowboy hat. So when he put the cowboy hat on at the end of this movie, it was like immediate flashback to that conversation and that picture.
Yeah. I loved seeing him in this movie with him being able to play into that role.
Yeah.
horses and being around in the country and doing all that kind of stuff like that. Because
Yeah.
and what's crazy is like obviously like he lives in California. So like whenever he's home, you obviously don't see that with him. He's like in California mode. You know, he's not wearing like cowboy hats and jackets and sweaters and all that kind of stuff like that because it's like 90 degrees all the time.
I saw a different side to Andrew than when
Yes.
he was
Yes.
Can we
he's
just
not because like we say, like I will say this, he plays like he like in a lot of his movies, the majority of the time he is like in a business suit.
yeah.
The majority of the time he is in a business suit. So it was really nice to see him just like in some jeans and like, you know, riding a horse and howdy cowboy, you know, without being too
denim
cowboy.
jacket and yeah,
denim jacket. Love a good. I love a denim jacket on a guy. I have no idea why.
Can
Like
we
a
just go
denim
back?
nice denim jacket and a leather jacket. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
Can
in
we
other
just-
words, guys, get you a kid and a denim jacket and it'll be good.
Approved.
No argument for me.
I mean, you can't like obviously it's not all that, but like you can't tell me that just like a guy in like a plain white t-shirt with either a denim jacket or a leather jacket holding a kid is not attractive.
No argument from this corner.
I mean, Tyler
this
Hines
corner.
has proved it. Tyler Hines wears both a denim jacket and a leather jacket, and he plays with his nieces and he puts it on Instagram, and I'm just like, dude, what are you doing to me?
No argument in this corner
I'm just like,
or
yeah.
this corner.
Yeah. Okay, Nicole, what were you wanting to go back to?
The mute.
The mute button? Okay, I'll mute myself. Hang on.
No.
Joke's on you. I don't know how to mute myself on this.
I can mute you. I just can't unmute you, I don't think.
No.
Or wait, can I? Yes, actually I can. Yeah, I just can't unmute you.
The meet cute and them talking about the maple farm, and he says, so this is a maple farm. Where's all the syrup and the lumberjacks with the flannels carrying the big buckets? And then, you know, Erica says something, and then she follows up by saying, as for the lumberjacks, they're probably with the other outdated ideas about farming.
Yeah.
And then
I love that.
she mentions
I love that.
how it's run by her mom,
and her,
and then
her
now
sister.
her sister. Yeah. And then he
So you're
says,
female lumberjacks.
Thanks.
Lumberjackies.
Jeez.
Is that how he said it? Lumberjackies?
Yeah, lumberjackies.
Yeah. Why do I feel like that is such an Andrew line though?
Oh my God. I guarantee you, I'm going to ask him this if we see him. Like one of us has to ask him, like, did you come up with that? Because that is a Andrew line.
Also, I think I saw on Twitter, maybe it might have been Jeanette, who is one of the Hardys, mention something about that scene, maybe at least that scene, like when they meet, being filmed at Jamestown, where When Calls the Heart is filmed.
Because I can see that because like that's where like the old church and stuff used to be, right?
Well, that's where the wooded area was, where Billy Hamilton took Elizabeth on that ride, the carriage ride.
Oh my gosh, that is, oh man.
How funny is that we interviewed him when we talked about how we wanted Billy Hamilton to come back or like have like an evil twin or whatever. And then now he stars in the movie where he goes back to Jamestown and he's around that area.
That is awesome.
I mean, I could be
love
wrong, but
could be, but like I could see it. If I go back and watch this movie with that idea in my head, I could probably pinpoint where it was.
that wooded area looked exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like the placement of the
With
trees
how the
and
placement
everything.
of the trees. Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh. We've got to point that out to him and see if it's right. Like, I don't know if he'll be like, whether you guys get him on to my podcast or we get him, whichever one. Like,
I also thought it was kind of funny how one of his lines was something along the lines of, this place looks familiar.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That he had been there before with his that he had been there before with his mom. Yeah, you hear him talk about that. But that
Yeah,
but
like double
it's
meaning.
like Jamestown. It's like, yeah.
Double meaning.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, another thing, and Morgan, I know me and you talked about this, about that just kind of blew us away. That kiss.
Yeah. I was like, okay now.
I'm just like, what Hallmark am I moving? What?
But Hallmark movie am I watching?
She just like flat out laid it on, and I love the fact that like when she pulled away, he was just like,
wow.
I feel like that was such an Andrew move too.
Yeah.
But like, so this is your job. You take people out on horseback rides to bring them to mistletoe so they can kiss.
Yeah, it's what it says on my LinkedIn.
And then not long after he says that, she kisses him.
Yeah. I love
was not expecting that.
I love when he shows up the next day, because I think it was her mom had invited him to come to like the tree lighting or whatever. So he shows up the next day and he goes, I didn't know if
it's for the wait, I think it's for the booth at the Christmas fair.
Yeah, I think they were setting up for the Christmas fair, like the holiday market.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he's like, he says, I didn't know if I was still invited after you kissed me, and then
stormed out.
Bewildering twist, got upset and stormed off. He's like, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be here or not.
Yeah.
Getting mixed signals here. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I love it when he's like, do you mind, like, can you kind of explain what happened here?
Like, I love that Hallmark is finally getting back with the humor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because they did go so long without, like, I'm not saying their movies didn't have some funny little nods or whatever, but like it was nothing like this.
I feel like they're getting back to the old Hallmark.
Yeah.
Their stories are starting to have more depth to them and stuff again. They're starting to get a little more down to the nitty gritty.
I really do think
especially
to us, like the fans, not just us, but like the fans in general. Because people have been saying this for years. Well, for a few years that it's been like this, where it's not been really that funny, where the stories do have good meanings, but they're not really that deep.
They're fluff.
And there's so much repeats, just even different settings and different people.
Some of the conversations in this movie were
there wasn't really like. Was there really much of a resolve between the father and the son?
Kind of.
But I mean, I don't know. I feel like it was different.
There's
kind
a
of resolve.
start of there's a start.
But it, like, I felt like, to me, like it was a different kind of resolve than what they usually do with the parents and the kids. It still had a difference to it, because like you know,
it's not just a automatic everything's good. It's a
It's
I'm sorry, I screwed up.
Yeah,
I forgive you. Okay, let's work on this.
Yeah,
type of resolve, and not just
I love you too, Dad, and like
I mean, they do hug, but still, you just know that there's going to be that journey ahead of them.
Right. It's not a just like there is a clean slate, but it's like he's giving him a chance to prove to him that he really is actually sorry for not being a father to him, like he needed to have him as a father.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, this is your time to prove yourself. You are sorry. I do forgive you. But like, this is a journey we're going to have to take. It's not just an automatic, like, yippee.
Yeah.
Skip down Mary Lane. All is forgiven. All is good. All is right in the world. Like, there's still like a moment where, there's going to be a journey of him having to prove himself as a father, that he can be that type of father. And so on.
Yeah.
Which I thought was nice.
I love the tree lighting.
The tree lighting was really
Can we talk about how big that tree is? Because That's the biggest tree I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was well, I loved it when she was like, yeah, it started off as a little tree lighting and now it's a big tree lighting.
It's a beautiful tree, but it was
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, it really was. It really was. Okay, so in this story, Morgan kind of alluded to this earlier, that they kind of did something different here, where it wasn't that the farm was going great, business was up, everything was good. There was nothing of that sort for them to be in trouble.
Like they were actually very successful.
He wasn't trying to come in and buy. It wasn't the typical him trying to come in and buy her farm,
right?
Type story to turn it into everything else. It was neighboring land that they used to own that now they have a chance to buy it back. And but Erica and Heidi are really kind of struggling. I really appreciated watching Erica's character arc through this whole movie, of everything that she's like, what comes up. It's like she's got this set in her head that this is how it is, this is how it's supposed to stay, this is what's supposed to happen, this is not supposed to change, you're not supposed to leave. But her to kind of slowly get the walls that she had built up broken down, and for her to finally be willing to admit that she needs people, because she was kind of controlling everybody else because she felt safe in that world. When everybody else kind of let her know, and I have to be honest, they were way more patient about it than I would have been. Like, I mean, they kind of, you could tell they were kind of losing patience with her towards the end of it, but I would not have had quite that much patience with them.
Oh, I wish I had them people's patience.
Right. But I love one of the, okay, again, this one seems totally Andrew, but when the mom asks like who's going to be in charge of the candying, and he says, I don't know what candying is, but if it's a verb form of candy, I'll take the job.
I loved the scene when they were making the candy, and it reminded me of Andrew's movie with Nikki, Sweet Autumn.
Yeah.
Because that had maple, and like the element of maple trees and everything.
Yeah.
Like that.
I loved it. I mean, and again, Morgan, I know you said this is like totally you to do something like this, but you know, they're making the candy and it's like the syrup is like boiling hot, and he reaches over and he touches it and he's like, ow, that's hot. She's like, of course it's hot. It's boiling. And he said, I didn't know it was going to be so hot. She said, there's literally a thermometer sticking out of it. And he says, sad to say, it's in my character. Tell me there's a universe out there that's ever expanding and I'll believe you. But you hang a wet paint sign on the wall, I need to touch it to make sure.
That is me in a nutshell. I will do it.
Yep.
And if you test me, it's going to make it worse.
Yeah.
You don't tell me to do it. If you tell me not to do it, I'm going to do it.
I mean, literally, like this is going to come out way after this, but literally, Nicole, I don't think I told you about this Saturday. I am going to a football game merely because a guy at church told me I shouldn't.
I literally told her, I said, if he catches you at that game and they lose, you will have a mugshot up there that says, do not allow insurance.
Okay, backstory for anybody that, you know, this does not make sense to anybody. It's a funny story. Okay, so I guess since my mom died, there have just been things that it has just become important to me to do just because I want to. I don't have to have another reason, but if I want to do it and I can do it, I'm going to do it. It's like, why not? You know, live a little. So one of the things that I wanted to do was go to a college football game. Well, of course, I'm a Georgia girl, so I would love to go to a UGA game. Go Dogs! But the tickets are like $300+ a piece. There's no way I'm spending that kind of money. So I was like, okay, where else can I go? Well, I ended up going to KSU's football game because I have a lot of ties to KSU. And this particular guy at church, he works there. And I know a lot of people that either have gone there, are going there. Obviously, he works there, so I was like, that's the only other place I have ties to. So I went to this game. Terrible game. Terrible game. Which anybody will tell you they don't have a good football team right now. But so I follow the KSU football Instagram accounts and stuff. I should not have looked at Morgan just then, but okay. I followed, so I knew, even though I had not been to another game, I knew that they had just won one of their games. So Sunday after church, I told Michael, like, congratulations for the win yesterday. He's like, thanks. And I was like, apparently I came to the wrong game. He said, you literally came to the worst game we have had all season. I was like, this is my luck. When I tell you this is my luck, I'm not kidding. And he kind of grinned and he went, well, then maybe you don't need to come to another game because I don't need you being our bad luck charm. And, like, I knew he was kidding. But what did I do but turn around and buy a ticket to this Saturday's game simply because he told me I probably shouldn't come to another one. I'm like,
Oh my goodness.
PSA, boys, never tell a girl not to do something. Especially if it is under these kind of circumstances where you're like questioning if the girl is a bad luck charm or not. She will prove to you whether she is a bad luck charm or not.
Yeah.
And that affects you a whole lot more than it affects her.
So yeah, I was texting Morgan about it and we were laughing and I was like, I'm not gonna tell him I'm coming.
Obviously.
I have which I didn't last time either. I ended up running into him before the game, so he knew I was there. But I'm not telling him I'm coming. I'll get there and either tag him in an Insta story or text him or something and tell him I am testing this theory. Or at this point, I'm wondering if I'll just wait till after the game. But I was like, it's their senior night. Like, I was like, surely to goodness they picked a team they know they can beat because that's what colleges do. I'm like, if not, he may ban me for real.
Telling you, you were going to have a mugshot that says, do not allow entry under any circumstances. Like, your mugshot will be on that building until you die.
And he's going to be like, I do not know this woman. I have never seen her before in my life. I don't know what she's here.
She no longer exists.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, this is going to be interesting to see what happens with this game that is going to be well past over by the time this episode comes out. But yeah. Another like really cute, funny moment in this movie to me is when Aaron comes back to talk to Erica. And Erica tells Heidi, she's like, I'm going to the barn, tell him I'm not here, whatever. So Heidi kind of runs out the door. She's like, hey, Erica's not here. And
he knows goes, where she is.
She in the barn. She's like, yeah, she's in the barn. Thank you. He goes out
I love that so much. I love this movie because of just like the it's just like so good. Like the last couple of movies from Hallmark where and a lot of them have been like ones that obviously, like, no offense to any of the other ones we had, like, or anything, but like we tend to watch the ones that have like Andrew, Tyler, Kevin.
We have our favorites.
We have our favorites. I'm sorry. Not sorry. In a loving way. I did again. Are you okay? We have our favorites. And Andrew is one of them, and Tyler is one of them, Kevin. But like I have noticed, like in Tyler's movies and in Andrew's movies and even in Kevin's movies lately, like they've been really funny. And not like the punchline funny or like unnatural funny or trying to make a joke or whatever, but it's like it's so natural.
Kerri's like dying over there.
Hey, at least I didn't start choking this time.
or do like a spit take right there on camera.
I seriously thought that was what was going to happen last time. But no,
But
I
it's
feel
just
like
like
they're really
natural, just like that whole incident. It wasn't like this big like comedic joke where you're waiting for like the sound team to erupt the laughing clapping noise, you know,
Mhm.
so it's like it's a
Yeah.
studio audience. It's like just natural, like we said, like we could see Andrew saying this in real life, like
I feel like
outside
you're
of
getting to see these people shine in their own way.
right. Like
Instead
their
of them just
personality
being a
is
role.
really coming into the characters.
Yeah.
It's like these writers
Yeah.
had Andrew in mind when they wrote this script.
Mhm.
And could it be very well ad-libbed? Like that could have been just Andrew being Andrew, and they changed the script.
Mhm.
Like, you know, either way, it's so natural.
Yeah.
And I love that.
I
Because
love
there has been time where I've watched a Hallmark movie and it just felt like too predictable, I guess, or too
Scripted.
standard. Yeah, too scripted, where you could just, it's as if they were just
You know
literally
it's a
reading around the
script,
page.
but it can be too scripted.
Yeah.
I love when Aaron and Erica have a conversation at the Christmas fair, and he's talking about getting the gift for his dad, and Erica says, "Our booth selling money bags, bow tie, or a booth selling money bags, bow ties, and top hats couldn't make it this year." He says, "Oh, because he's the Monopoly man."
Yeah. I love when he's like, maybe I should get him a monocle.
Like, y'all, I could not stop laughing through this movie. It was like you didn't really
Yeah.
get any breaks in between the jokes because you're just like like he says one thing and after the other.
Yeah. A lot of good little one-liners.
Yeah.
I also loved. Sorry. Yeah, got a tickle in my throat.
Uh-oh.
I loved when he mentions that he wants something meaningful for Christmas, and that the last meaningful gift he got was when he was 5 or 6. Question: have y'all ever received a meaningful gift
Ooh,
for Christmas or for your birthday? Or
I'm trying to think.
That's a really good question. What about you, Nicole?
I'm trying to remember too. I'm sure that
Like,
I
y'all,
have.
We were just talking about this, like with the because we got on a discussion about how we all like I don't like not Nicole. I don't think so. Nicole has a whole different type of situation. Me and Kerri definitely have ADD.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that we talked about with having ADD is that we have like these massive memory gaps where we cannot remember anything these past, like, you know, not just like whenever we were like 5 or 6. No, like, I mean, like in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I could barely remember what happened last month or last week. So trying to remember like meaningful gifts and stuff, like, and it's hard because it's like you like, it's meaningful, but it's like your brain, when it has ADHD, does not care.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think. Golly.
I'm trying to remember too. I'm sure that I have gotten one, but I just don't know off the top of my head what it is.
You guys comment down below like a meaningful gift that you guys have received,
Yeah.
because that is really nice to I love hearing people's stories.
I feel like for me, experiences have gotten to be more of a big deal for me than I love actual gifts, but I mean, I did this for myself this year, but like I bought myself a ticket to go see the Sons of the Pioneers concert, and it wasn't actually on my birthday, but it was like later that month. And I grew up in love with Roy Rogers, and Roy Rogers was one of the founding members of the Sons of the Pioneers, along with Bob Nolan and Tim Spencer. That was like in the 30s, like 1938 or something like that. So, I mean, this group has been around forever. And now, of course, Roy's son, Roy Jr., sings with the group. And so, I mean, just getting to meet these guys. I mean, I was freaking out. I don't remember, Morgan, if I was texting you or not, but I was like freaking out that night. And one of the guys, I had gotten myself. I had gotten myself a front row ticket, and when I walked up, I was like going around getting the guys to sign the picture I had gotten, and the last one I walked up to, he looks at me and he's like, "Were you sitting on the front row?" And I was like, "Yeah, next to Lee. Sorry about that," which was a buddy of theirs that I'm friends with as well. And he was like, "No," he's like, "You just look like you were really enjoying yourself." And I was like, "I was."
You did tell me that.
Yeah,
You
but
did
it was
actually-
like he had specifically noticed that I was just so into it on the front row and singing along with them and whatever. It was just like, they got a kick out of me. And per usual, I'm a novelty to people because I'm so young and I'm into all this stuff. But I'm like, and I told all of them, I was like, "You have no idea what this means to me to be here tonight." I was like, "I have literally wanted to meet y'all forever." I was like, "So this is like a dream come true moment for me right now to be here." So that, again, it was something that I got myself, but that was really, really special to me.
I think I mentioned this on our game night from last year, but one of my favorite gifts, it was kind of like an early Christmas gift because the concert was December 1st, but seeing Michael W. Smith on his Christmas tour.
Yeah.
That's real special. Yeah. I'm like you guys, like experiences have definitely mattered way more.
And he's one of my favorite artists. Like
he's
a Christian artist. Yeah.
Amazing. He's really good.
I'm still trying to think because it's really hard to think. Like,
how about your upcoming one that we still need to plan?
Oh,
right.
Maybe.
Hopefully that would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this one kind of didn't happen around Christmas, really.
For the love of all things Christmas, please let it work out.
Right? Yeah.
I would love that. I really would. Maybe me and Mom can sit down tomorrow and really hash it all out. But I went to Branson. It could have been about 2 years ago, probably sooner. COVID has definitely not helped with my conception of time and how long something happened back or whatever. But it was definitely before COVID that this happened because nobody was wearing masks. I remember that. I think it was in 2019. Yeah, because Jennifer wasn't even. My best friend Jennifer came with me and my mom and my dad and some of their friends to Branson, and the whole entire trip wasn't exactly amazing, but just being able to go on on vacation with one of my best friends, and we had such a blast because like we went to Silver City and like hardly anybody was there, so we were able to ride like multiple rides like many times and like and everything. We actually had this one experience on the ride where I think it was the Time Traveler at Silver City. And on the ride is like it operates just like a regular roller coaster, but at the same time you're slowly kind of spinning. It's not like a major spin, but it's like kind of slowly. And we rode it like 3 times, and this was like our 3rd or 4th time riding it. And I remember this because it was just hilarious, and we talked about it for like months. We still talk about it. She got on a different one, and then I got on one. And so every time we would turn around, most of the time we would turn around, we would be like facing each other and just laughing our heads off. And then because of that, we had other people on the ride with us, and they were getting a kick out of us, getting a kick out of each other. And it was so hilarious. And like in that, two couples came behind us. It was like our 2nd time. And they had never rode the ride. So we were like, obviously really excited to go again. And we were like telling them about how it goes and everything like that. And they were like older than us, but not really that older, I don't think. And so like they got on behind us or whatever. And obviously the ride is spinning. So every once in a while we were looking at them and they were laughing at us because we were laughing so hard. And like, obviously me and her both have like extremely long hair. And so like our entire faces and stuff were like covered by our hair. So you couldn't even hardly see us because like our hair was just like all over the place. And I don't know why that specific memory or whatever, but it's not necessarily a gift, but that is a kind of a Christmassy memory because around the time they were kind of getting the Christmas lights out and like playing Christmas music. In fact, we went to a Christmas type show in Branson. So that's kind of how I
Aw.
revolve around it. But I think it was just really fun to go on a vacation with your friends. And, you know, it's different than a family vacation. Not saying it's, you know, not special or not, it's special, but
in a different way.
yeah, it's just different.
And in a loving way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's why we need to make this work, because all of us getting together for that would be so fun. Oh, and I did text Kristen, and she said she could meet us there. Yay. If it pulled it off. So yeah. So that would be really fun.
Like I just said, for the love of all things Christmas, please let this work out.
Why do I have this funny feeling I'm going to end up driving to Louisiana and picking Morgan up, and then driving to South Carolina and picking Nicole up?
Girl, that is a lot of gas money.
I know. Oh man,
We're trying.
Yeah,
it's
we
all
are.
Gonna depend on when my brother gets out of school.
Yeah.
It's really going to just depend on it's really just going to depend on making sure that we don't have any other plans come up, and like making sure we have enough vacation time to like actually warrant that long of a stay away from home thing for both of us, for both me and Mom.
Yeah.
Because I would really love it if Mama Hardy was able to join us.
That would be really fun. Yeah.
God, I'm telling you, we need to get my mom on the podcast one day, because I'm telling you.
I know. I had started to tell you when, I think it was the last episode we were recording, that your mom was calling you. I'd started to tell you should answer the phone and let us have her.
No, because you never know what comes out of her mouth.
Hi, Mom, you're on the podcast.
Yeah. Say hi to everybody.
Yeah. One thing, okay, when Aaron ditched his dad, like did not show up for this thing. You know, he showed up for one part, and then he decided he is not going and being a part of this other part. And he shows up for the sleigh ride, and they get to the dinner. Yeah. And of course her mom is, you know, her and her boyfriend are playing a little bit of matchmaking there, telling them, oh, we had a cancellation, y'all go sit down and eat, there's a table right over there with your name on it, you know. But when they start dancing,
I love that.
When he says, when I'm with you, I feel
found.
That was just so sweet. So sweet.
My heart. I did not feel any. I felt so single at the same time, but like I was just like, I love those kind of moments. Like I wanted so bad.
Can we just talk about that sleigh ride, because she was teaching him how to hold the reins or like take the reins, but before that, you know, she was asking, "Are you capable of this?" And my when calls the heart thinking brain was thinking, yeah. Billy Hamilton took Elizabeth on a carriage ride, and he was
deja vu.
Yep. That would be hilarious if that was really filmed like in the same area. That would be hilarious. Yeah, we'll have to ask him about that. But
we really do need to ask him about that, because I'm telling you, like that would be amazing.
I love
the hand holding.
Yes.
Yeah.
How he like just it was so smooth too. How he like just put the reins in one hand instead of both hands, and then like just really slowly slipped his hand under her arm, and you know, whatever. And she's like not knowing how to respond for a second. Yeah, that was, oh man, so sweet.
This is the only downside to watching Hallmark movies like this, is because it makes you feel so single.
Well, it kind of,
and like all you do is think about how you can't wait for the day that can happen to you, when you know in reality, I am sorry, but Andrew Walker and Tyler Hines and them don't actually exist in real life. I mean, they do, but you know what I mean.
Oh my God, Morgan!
She's like, I am sorry, No guy
They're
I've
out of
ever-
this world. That's what she's saying, y'all. Y'all are out of this world.
like
Y'all are another dimension.
boys down here don't do that.
Yeah.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
I mean, I have often wondered that of what it would like. What does it feel like
Right.
that first time? Like, who's going to initiate it? What does it feel like that first time that somebody just reaches over and holds your hand?
Right.
How are you going to react? Like that
Right.
thought comes in my mind so many times of just wondering, like, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of ways I'm actually glad I'm single, but
Yeah.
there are certain elements of it that I can't help wondering. Like, what is that like? What is it
I
like?
feel
to
like
have
that's natural though.
somebody-
I feel like that, yeah, because I often myself go.
Yeah.
And I've
Yeah.
semi sort of had a guy like obviously reach over and like grab my hand or whatever, but like in the way that Andrew did in this movie, no.
Yeah.
Like that was just like perfect.
The closest
Like
I've
I was
ever
just
come-
melting.
the closest I've ever come to that, the guy that I was in love with, we would hang out all the time. We would go hiking and stuff. And we were getting ready to cross a creek one time when we were out on a hike, and he just like didn't say anything. He just turns around and grabs my hand to help me across the creek. Like, did not say anything, just reached over and grabbed my hand to help me across the creek. So that's like the closest I've ever come to that. But even at that, it wasn't exactly the same thing. You know, it wasn't
Yeah,
like,
but
hey,
it's still
you're just
sweet.
walking,
It's
you're
still
sitting.
sweet, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's a different meaning to it whenever it's just like to help you out instead of actually like,
Yeah,
meaning to wanting to hold your hand.
right. So I'm like, I just can't help wondering, like, what is that like? What will that feel like? Who's going to initiate it? Like, will it be me?
Right.
Will it be, whatever? Like, what's going to happen
It's
here?
okay if it's okay if you want to initiate it,
Mm-hmm.
especially in these days and times. Like crying out loud, women are proposing to men and
Yeah.
all of that. So I mean, I
Yeah.
don't want that to happen. I want him to propose to me, but
Getting off track, maybe we all need to eat a kismet cookie.
Yes.
right.
Well, actually, they didn't eat the cookies, did they? They like just put it under the pillow.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant. Maybe we just need
Yeah.
to take a kismet cookie and
Should I be eating the cookie? I ain't putting a cookie underneath my pillow.
Okay, put it under your pillow and eat it the next day.
Okay, bye. Yeah, I don't have the kind of
They really
self-control to do that because I'm gonna smell the cookie all night long and I'm not gonna be able to sleep.
And then the next day, all you're gonna smell from your hair is cookie.
I'm gonna smell like a stinking cookie all day long. Not that I mean, obviously I'd rather smell like a cookie than anything else, but you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, it would probably be the best perfume you could wear.
Bath and Body Works is obviously, the best show for
I
that.
think they have a sugar cookie fragrance.
They do.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do.
Any
Yep.
kind of food scent, they have created it and they have sold it.
Warm
Yeah.
vanilla sugar.
Yeah,
That's one of my favorites.
I can't go into it. I try so hard, but for some reason I can't stand like food flavored scents.
Winter candy apple is another
Like I
one.
can't. I don't know what it is. I guess it's because it's so strong and I'm like so sensitive to candles and stuff. I can't handle it.
I have
Okay.
gotten some body spray just from Walmart, and this is like completely off the movie. But anyway, I've gotten some body spray from Walmart that is a lilac scent, and it's just like really light and really pleasant. I've gotten obsessed with that one.
Funny story, real quick, before we get back to the movie. This was when I was in like 4th grade, I think. We had gotten our yearbooks. So this was like the end of the school year. And it was the day we got our yearbooks, like I just said. And this was the era where, we were all about the Bath and Body Works scented hand sanitizers. I'm not even joking. There were a group of us that literally took the scented hand sanitizer and like covered our yearbook with it. So it would smell.
Okay, wow. That's a whole new level.
I've never heard of anyone doing that before in my life.
It didn't last long, I can tell you. I don't even know why we did it, honestly.
I'm surprised it didn't ruin like the cover of the yearbook.
Right? I don't know.
Crazy.
Oh my gosh.
I thought you were going to be like people were like, everybody was like spraying their like yearbooks, or like something like that, or like
a body spray thing, not hand sanitizer.
Yeah, not hand sanitizer.
I honestly cannot believe we did that. Like,
girl, there's so many embarrassing stories of my high school days. Oh, my heavenly father.
I was in 4th grade, so granted, I was like,
granted, that's kind of an appropriate age for that kind of cringeworthy type story. So,
like maybe 9, 10, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But I do have a scent from Bath and Body Works I love, and that's Forever Red.
I don't know if I smelled that one.
It is an older one. They might not even sell it anymore.
I don't think they sell it. I haven't seen it.
But then again, last year my friend got me some for Christmas. So I don't know. Maybe in select stores you might find it online. But I love it because it's more of like that perfume smell. Like that, it's not flavor. It's not like a candy or a sweet. It's like a perfume, sophisticated type smell that I really like.
Yeah.
But I love that we kind of got to see Andrew with horses again, and like I thought that was really nice.
I love
it's funny because like Aaron says he has a history, like he has a history with horses, and so did Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I love the horseback ride. That was really nice.
Yeah. If we do get to interview him again, we do need to ask him if there is ever going to be a sequel to the movie mystery that he just did with
there is
Serious Caterer.
There is
There
is
the one with the chocolate.
There is.
What? Where was that announcement?
Go on Sarah and Julie's podcast, Suspenders Unbuttoned. They just recently interviewed him.
Okay. Morgan's mad he didn't call us.
Yeah, I'm mad he didn't call us.
Shout out to Sarah and Julie. We love y'all.
We're gonna get him on here, and Morgan's gonna be like, "All right, buddy."
We're about to have a serious talk tonight.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you not give us the scoop?
We're just joking in a loving way.
Yeah.
I don't know if I mean it in a loving way or not.
Morgan.
I love how she's like the rogue one out of us. Like,
I just mentioned it a minute ago, but shout out to Sarah and Julie. We love y'all.
We do love you guys.
Yeah.
I am jealous of y'all a lot though, because like y'all have already interviewed Kevin like 4 times.
Right? What is your secret for real though?
Right? We can't get his agent to like message us back.
Yeah, we can't even get his agent to email us back. But anyway, to kind of, and if there's any other scenes y'all want to mention, we can. But my kind of other favorite line from this is at the end of this movie when Erica calls Aaron and leaves him voicemail. And, she basically tells him, I didn't tell you, I should have told you this a long time ago, but I feel the same way you do. When I'm with you, I feel found, blah, 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 blah. Well, then when he shows up, and of course, she has to be a female. And instead of telling him she's glad he's there, she has to go, "You're late."
Or right on time.
Yeah.
Yes, because we cannot show that we actually are very happy to see someone.
Right?
We always have to make it a game.
Don't worry, guys. We don't understand this any more than you do. So yeah, don't worry.
I was just about to say, like, guys, I'm like, I don't know why we're like this. We just are.
Yeah. But I love his response to her when he says, "Maybe I got lost, or maybe I'm right on time and you just weren't ready for it before."
Yeah.
I loved that line.
Love that because it's so true.
Yeah. I also love when he gets the gift from his dad and it's the toy fire truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They replaced the batteries in.
Yeah. And Erica and Heidi working things out and deciding to officially become partners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that they did kind of bring a sibling dynamic where like the siblings were kind of,
Yeah.
you know, like having problems too. And it wasn't just between like the leading couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
They
felt
had
like that
the
was
typical dysfunctional family instead of this like picture perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they all love each other, but
like it wasn't so it wasn't like a toxic dysfunctional. It was just the normal dysfunction where you don't agree with each other all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, before we start to wrap up, I just have to mention that dinner was really nice and seeing them saying the blessing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the
After-
hand holding. And the hand
Yes,
holding.
of course. Another hand holding, heart melting moment.
What it is, but I feel like hand holding is so underrated.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not put
I
out
agree.
enough in movies.
Yeah.
Like
I
I
mean,
don't know
is it just me?
but I just
or
like
is it just me, or does it melt your heart like when you're in town or whatever to see this little older couple holding hands walking along? It's like so sweet. It is just so sweet. I literally
Or
apologize.
even like the kind of like adults where they've had multiple kids, even some of the kids are younger or whatever, and they've got like kind of like all the ages and stuff like that, and they're like not necessarily old, but they're not necessarily young couples, and they're even holding hands because like you kind of do sometimes wonder, like, you know, because you hear some things about like how people get like they lose that part of themselves in relationships as they start getting to where they're like they have kids, they have jobs, they have all these other roles that kind of take up their time and they don't appreciate the little things.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like I love seeing them too.
I literally apologized to a couple in Mount Airy one time because when I was like approaching them, they were walking side by side holding hands. They were probably like in their 60s or something. But then he let go of her hand to get like single file so it could have room on the sidewalk for me to walk past. And I was like, you didn't have to let go of her hand. Like I would have stepped off the sidewalk and,
Aww.
like it was just so sweet. That
you had to say that again. You broke up a little bit.
I'm sorry. I was just saying that there was probably, I don't know, they were probably in their 60s or something couple.
Yeah, we heard that. Yeah.
Passed in Mount Airy one time and they were holding hands as I was approaching them, but then he let go of her hand to step back single file. Yeah. And I was just like, you didn't have to let go of her hand. I'm sorry. Like, I felt bad. And he was like, no, it's good. But I was like, I didn't want him to let go. Like, it was so sweet to me to see them.
Yeah.
Like, it broke my heart to see him let go of her hand just to let me walk past,
Right.
But,
like, I'm unworthy to cause this disruption.
Right. I will say, after watching this movie, I felt like very strongly to say Buon Natale. Like, am I the only one that felt the need to say that after which is Italian for Merry Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
Her voice,
I didn't.
And of course the song was stuck in my head.
Yeah.
I can't remember who sang that song.
But
which song?
This is definitely like I'm not one to like repeatedly watch the same movie a lot. Like once I've seen it, it's very rare for me to like go back and watch it unless it's kind of like a comfort type movie. Like I've watched Princess Diaries too, like way too many times. I can't even count. I don't know why.
I loved you first.
Wait, what was it? What was the comment again?
I loved you first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just like make out and then go into the fountain. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like y'all, I'm sorry. Don't get me wrong. Princess Diaries 1 is a good movie too, but Princess Diaries 2 is
way better though.
It's so much better. Like her
Apparently
chemistry.
there's a third one.
Like, I wanted to be the third one.
Apparently there is a third one coming.
Well, they haven't completely like. There's a script for
They
it.
haven't.
But, like,
Yeah.
not everybody is on board for it. Like even Julia Andrews, and I kind of got upset with her with this. and it takes a lot for me to get upset with it, Julie Andrews. Okay, she's a dynasty. She's like,
this is true.
It's Julie Andrews,
the queen.
But she said that she didn't see how they could do it because she just seems like there was just so much time between the second one and this one, like if they were to do a third one and all this kind of stuff, and whether or not she would be able to do it or whatever or something like that. And I was just like,
how dare you?
Right?
Loving way.
Love you. But Julie Andrews.
We can't not have the queen
Clarice.
Yeah.
Clarice.
Yeah. We can't
And
not
Joe. And Joe.
I know.
Like, come on. Anyways.
This is one of the very few movies that is not Hallmark that we have in common, guys. Just so you know. So this is a novel.
So when we get on the subject of it, we gotta talk about it.
Mia Thermopolis. I don't even know the rest of her name.
Mia Mionette Ronaldo. Emilia Mionette
Really?
Thermopolis Rinaldi. Princess of
Genovia.
Anyways, like there's very rare, like there's not that many movies that I will rewatch 1,000 times or more than once, even just more than once. But this will definitely be one of those movies that I will probably watch more than once because It Was Always You is one of them. I watched it like at least 4 times before.
Yeah.
Here's
how it's gonna go, David.
Yeah.
Here's how it's gonna go, David.
Yeah. He's like,
I love it when he's like, when she's like, shh.
I'm sleeping. And I love how she's like, oh, when he goes, shh. Anyways, but
we'll be like 2 ships in the night.
You're dead? Well, I was going for unconscious, but then I'll be the first to admit I'm not a very good actor.
I love how he's dancing in the movie, just like
yes.
But and like her trying to climb up the ladder of the treehouse, she's just like holding on for dear life, and she's swinging. Yeah. She's just like
that would be me.
Oh man, I'm not even sure you would get me on that ladder, much less up it.
Yeah. Right.
Two of my biggest dreads. I do not have any plans to become an actress. 2 of my biggest dreads, if I ever were to be an actress, of stuff to happen. Number 1, having to do an elegant descent of a staircase without looking down.
And to think, Anne Hathaway had to do a lot of those in the Princess Diaries series.
Yeah. Well, and I'm picturing like the the Thatcher sisters walking down
they hold their hand down the rail. At least Mia did to do that.
Yeah. So I would, that's my number 1 dread.
I'd be like
staircase. And number 2 would be getting put on a Ferris wheel.
Shoot, my number 1 dread would be having to kiss my co-star. Like, and I'm just saying, like, it's not at all romantic as it is in the movies because you're like having to get like 4 different camera angles depending on how the director wants it done. So you're having to kiss him like 50 times by the end of the day.
You remember Daniel and Aaron joking around about how many times they filmed Jack and Elizabeth?
Simply because he wanted to keep doing it, even though they had the perfect take, and he kept wanting to kiss her.
But then she admitted that
she wanted to kiss him just as much. It was like they were both doing it.
Well, I mean, they were both joking around about it, like pinning it on each other. But yeah. Oh man, it was hilarious.
I think the number was 90.
We have said this before. There has to have been something that happened between those 2 because oh my gosh.
Oh, season 1, even in interviews, you could totally tell she had a crush on him. I'm not saying it went beyond that, but you could totally tell she had a crush on him.
I think he had just as much of a crush on her as she did him. I feel like he was definitely a lot better at hiding it, probably. But yeah.
I think the number was 90 for their first Jack and Elizabeth's first kiss.
think it was 80.
I think it was 80, and it's one of them said 90, I think.
Yeah.
I don't even know, but am I the only
Wow.
one? Again, y'all girls think about stupid stuff. We already talked about the
We really
hand
do.
holding
We
thing
really
and
do.
stuff. But am I the only one? Okay, personally, I have never been kissed. So am I the only one that thinks it would be romantic for your first kiss to be a mistletoe kiss at Christmas?
No?
Yeah, I think that would be cute.
Yeah. The only problem with that is then I would be left wondering, okay, did you actually mean that, or did you just do that? Because, like, I feel like it would
There's
be
ways of getting out of the mistletoe.
Yeah.
So if they wanted to get out from under the mistletoe,
yeah.
but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, my main fear would be having to kiss them like 50 times, especially if I didn't like them.
Well, and
because like there has been instances where like co-stars that had to play like they were in love hated each other off camera.
Yeah, that's true.
And I feel like with my luck, that would happen to me.
Well, and I will say this. I'm not sure if it would actually be more awkward to have to pretend you're kissing them and then not. Because I know I heard our leading lady in the Mayberry Man thing, because our leading man will not kiss his co-stars.
Yeah.
Like, he will hug them, he will like kiss them on the cheek, he'll, do whatever, but he will not actually kiss them. So for the series, they're actually supposed to fly his wife in to do like a silhouette shot for Chris and Kate, the two characters, for their kiss. That's actually going to be Brett's wife, which is what they did in Fireproof. They brought in Kirk Cameron's wife to stand in.
I did not know that.
Yep.
A lot of like, no offense, like not saying a lot of the majority of like Christian men have gotten to where they've been like, if I'm married, and they don't like to do that.
I think it is really sweet. I think it is really sweet that they don't do that. But I know Ashley was talking about how awkward it was, like for the shot and how they did it. For the particular shot that I was there for, because the other shot that he actually is going to kiss his wife for, that's being filmed in LA, and I'm not out there for that. But the shot that I was standing there where they were supposed to kiss, how they're doing it is it's set at Christmas, so it's like you see them headed towards each other, and then like the camera hands up on the tree, and at the moment that they're supposed to actually like their lips meet is when the tree lights up, so you don't actually see them kiss. But I know she was talking about how awkward that was for him to be coming at her, and then like this close he turns his head. So I'm like, I'm not sure which honestly would be, like, she would literally break out in giggles trying to do it because it was just so awkward. Of course, it was also like 2:00 in the morning, so we're all delirious at this point. But it was, I'm not sure honestly.
I would definitely want to actually kiss and not have to make sure that it looks like we're kissing, even though we're not. Mm-hmm. I would say that. I will say that because I feel like it would definitely take more effort than to actually.
Yeah,
but sure. Because like I've seen so many actors kind of talk about, because like people are like, oh my gosh, look at all the chemistry in that kiss, like oh my god, like blah 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 blah, like look how we're like how romantic and blah blah blah. But then the actors are like, yeah, but it's not that way when you're actually filming it.
There's no music. You have 100 people standing there watching you make out with somebody that you're not in a relationship with. I love the behind the scenes videos from filming scenes like that, where the actors literally just start laughing in the middle of trying to do this, or as soon as it's yelled cut, because it is so awkward.
And I don't even watch movies like this, but like, can you imagine having like for anyone that's under the age of 18 or that is awkward with this kind of subject, but like sex scenes?
Yeah.
Like
Riverdale.
Oh, don't even get me started. I couldn't. I like the second season. I was like, no.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, no.
I watch it, but there are some things I have to fast forward or just like look away.
Yeah, that's how I am with Sweet Magnolia. That's how I am with Sweet Magnolia.
One reason I watch that is because Martin is on that show.
Yeah. Yeah. He's not on there as much as he needs to be.
No.
But no, but like I can't even like just the thought of just kissing someone, but doing that. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, I'm good. But
I
no,
mean, I don't know.
it's not
you
romantic at all because like you don't have all the music and like blah blah blah. You're like you said, like no music, everyone's staring at you. Not to mention you're having to do it like 50 times, and you have to make sure that you do exactly like you did the first time every single time. Especially if they're switching it to a different angle to try and get like
that is one thing that bugs me in SSD. Here's
Mhm.
my detail personality coming out. Shane and Oliver's second kiss, technically, it's in the DLO. It's the first one we actually see.
Mhm.
I can't remember if it starts out that she has mail in both hands.
I've
or
heard that
think it's just
comment.
in one hand. And then you can tell they splice together shots because when he grabs her, I think she only has the mail in one hand.
Yeah.
But then you can tell they splash shots because when he pulls her to him and her arms go around him, she drops mail out of both hands, I think is the order that it goes in. But it's like, okay, somebody was not on it with the script continuity here. Like,
There have
not
been a
good.
few people that I've seen comment on that, but I love that scene.
Oh, I do too. I love the scene. I have rewatched it a ridiculous amount of times. But that's
Minor details.
Yeah.
But like no, but like me and Kerri have talked about it so many times. Like we're such behind the scenes people that like it does kind of like cause the value of the scene to kind of decrease a little bit because like that, like you try so hard to like not look at that and not focus on that and focus on just like trying to like block it out.
Well, I mean,
really
that's like I talked about the phone call thing.
Yeah.
Like when I was talking to y'all about the phone call thing, where it's like so obvious they are not on a phone call, and I'm like, for crying out loud, just
Oh,
take
there's
a
been plenty of times
screenshot.
where I've literally seen them have their phone upside down, like the camera light is like the camera's right there. I'm like,
Oh, Kimberly Sostad did that in 9 Kittens of Christmas, and it blew my mind that they used it and didn't catch it.
right?
She picks
I'm like,
her phone
there's no way you didn't get a better shot.
She picks it up like this and is saying something about a text, and then you can tell they used 2 different takes because the next take, her phone's turned and you can see the camera. So you tell they used 2 different takes.
I can't remember if I noticed
But
that.
I told you that one bad one where they were literally, it was like they videoed or they made like an edit on this person's phone, and like it was a video, and like it was supposed to look like someone was calling them, and it literally was like back when the iPhones first came out, and it was like the play button and everything was on there, like they were literally she literally pressed the play button and then stuck it to her ear.
Okay, and this is a going back to the FaceTime thing,
and it's a Disney movie.
I've never actually used FaceTime because I don't have an iPhone, but any kind of video chatting app I have ever used, you see both people on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think I know what you're. I think
you only see the one person. You don't see both people. Oh man, that drives me nuts.
I knew what you were going to say before you said it.
I'm like, that drives me out of my mind. Like, it's so obvious this is a video and not them actually acting. Like, stop.
Like, I think it was in 5 more minutes. I think there was one point when Clara, Nikki's character, was on the phone with her mom, and like it didn't show the other person on the phone.
No, like 9 times out of 10, it's always like you see them, but they're them. The only time that I actually didn't see it happening like that was when it was in the Wedding Veil trilogy. You actually saw them like how you see us right now. That's with true. Them. That was the only time that they actually did all that.
Yeah.
Now they did have moments where it would just cut to what was on your screen was their face individually while they were like, or with them sitting. Like as if someone was recording me right now, having the conversation with you guys, and they were showing me looking at my whatever device, like my iPad and stuff like that. But like whenever sometimes they did show it where it was like all 3 of us, kind of like how we are right now, all 3 of them. So that was actually kind of nice to they actually were able to do that.
Minor details.
Yeah, but those things just like they buck you when you're one of these people that just like is so focused on that kind of stuff.
I literally text because they're filming for Maybe a Man the series in LA right now. So I am experiencing severe FOMO. So I text several of them last night and, like wishing you the best of luck and stuff. Of course, our producer texted me back and told me it's not too late for you to hop on a plane. I thought that was really sweet. But then I text our first AD, our first assistant director, and he texted me back and he was like, "Thank you, Kerri." And he's like, "We sure could use you out here right now." He said, "I have not met anyone that is nearly as good as you."
Aww.
And I was like, "That means so much. Thank you." Come to find out, they have already lost like 2 people that have quit on them trying to do the job that I did.
Aww.
And I'm like, no wonder he said he hasn't found anybody as good as me because everybody else is quitting and I'll do it. No wonder. But like, I feel so bad. And I was actually even trying to jump in last night and try to help them find extras. Like from here. And I don't even know hardly anybody.
I am sorry, but you worked your butt off on that film.
Yeah,
on both of them. Whenever you were doing the movie, like you worked your butt off, and it's not easy. It's not an easy job at all.
I love it though. It's
yeah. No, you're the perfect person for that kind of job. So
I appreciate that. But all right. So out of 5 stars, I was thinking this a minute ago. Out of 5 stars, Morgan's giving it a 10 out of 5 stars.
I feel like that's a no-brainer. It's Andrew Walker.
I don't think we can talk.
Automatic 5.
Right. I'll just do 10.
Yeah. 10 out of 5 stars, guys.
You get a 10. You get a 10. You get a 10. You get a 10.
10 out of 5 or 10 out of 10.
Yeah, we're gonna have to tell Andrew that his movie rated a 10 out of 5 stars. That's awesome. That sounds better than 10 out of 10. 10 out of 5 stars sounds a lot better.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? Or are we ready to wrap this up in a loving way?
I don't think there's anything else. Once again, the Hallmarkies podcast is selling these t-shirts. They've got Team Andrew, Team Tyler, Team Paul. And obviously multiple colors. It's not just black and white. You can get red, blue, all kinds of different Christmassy, all the little Christmassy colors. So
they have a lot of other designs on there as well. It's not just these shirts, but these are specifically the ones that we got.
Yes, and me and Kerri, we will all hopefully we will all be wearing ours whenever we review the movie, and hopefully get an interview.
Yeah,
fingers crossed. I know we told Nicole that she needed to get a Team Paul shirt to round it out, but I think she's going with Team Andrew as well.
No disrespect to Tyler, because I love Tyler too. I honestly thought about going back
Paul
and like buying a Tyler. Yeah, and Paul's amazing too. I've even thought about going back and getting at least like a Tyler one too, because I love him as well, and Paul as well too. But buying 3 shirts is a pretty crazy thing to do. Anyways,
in a loving way.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, on that note, we love you guys in a serious way. We do.
Authentic.
All right. Bye, guys. We'll be back soon.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.